I understand protocol to mean treating people correctly according to the relationships we have. And since SLM is all about extending the ministry of a local church, we want to preserve that relationship by treating the people connected with the local church correctly according to their position. Therefore, we want to give them their dignity of treating them courteously, making sure that we're not competing with them, but simply extending the ministry they already have. And since Christianity is all about relating to God through Jesus Christ, we want to reflect that in our own relationships, particularly the relationships SLM has with local churches. So we want to adhere to a very strict, clear protocol in maintaining that relationship as clearly and strongly as we can.
Protocol is important in the work of SLM because without it, many things tend to go wrong, and it makes the organisation messy and certainly less efficient. One of the things that we've discovered about the use of protocol is that it helps us sustain a particular approach to the way we go about our ministries, both as individuals and also as a corporate unit. Whilst SLM is an umbrella organisation which helps to bring people together around a common cause, and certainly giving each individual the freedom to use their ministry in the way that they see fit, but also making them accountable to the body, we realise that without protocols and some kind of structure, then we become terribly inefficient. This is most critical because we have grown so quickly. In the last 2 years, we've doubled our size in the number of operatives, and this means that the workload exponentially gets much greater, and more people are asking questions about what to do and how to do it and when to do it. And so it seems a lot easier if we can give people clearer instructions about certain parts of SLM, so that even if they're new to the structure, they can understand how to operate and then gradually get a better perspective of how the history of SLM has come from nothing to where we are today, as well as getting a bit of a flavour for the ethos and philosophy of where we're going. I guess it would be fair to say that as we grow, we get more complex. And certainly in SLM, and as the National Administrator, I find this, that what we're doing today is far more complex than what we were doing 2 years ago. And part of that has got a lot to do with the increased ministry opportunities that are coming to us, the complexity of those opportunities, the fact that more and more people are involved. So what we're asking of our operatives is to be aware that we make these directions through the National Board for their best interests and well-being, and also so that SLM can function effectively and its name be held high. And these things are like the car lease scheme, where we need operatives to follow certain rules and regulations so that, one, they can be well satisfied with the leasing process, as well as satisfying the government's requirements for what we do. Certainly in our financial integrity, where what we do as individuals, particularly if we have accounts under the name of SLM, that we are accountable for what we spend and how we use it, and make sure that the National Board is aware of our expenditure and income, as well as being able to finance our ministries in a very effective way. Making sure that we use those people who have been set over us effectively, like our national coordinators in generic areas, so that if a person is a rugby league person, they go to the generic coordinator of that sport when they've got questions, rather than go right to the top, to Mark Tronson or to myself, when we're dealing with other issues. So protocols are really important to help us go the way that the Lord wants us to go, to help you, the operator or operative, to be as flexible and as independent as you can be, as well as being interdependent with the whole structure of SLM. That's why we believe that the protocols that we set are for your best interests and SLM's ministry focus. We try to keep them simple. We try not to have too many, but the ones that we do have are there to be observed. And so we really encourage you to make sure that you observe them as you get them in written form through the National Office or from the Administrator on particular issues. And so for those reasons, I think that it would do well for you to make sure that you read your material carefully when you get it from either Mark Tronson or myself, so that you can observe those protocols and make sure that it gives you the maximum freedom to exercise this ministry that God has called you to.